Like if you're having Chinese, like the sweet and sour, those are essentially chicken nuggets.
Okay, now I'm gonna hit record.
After I said I tooted.
Yep. Now I.
Yeah.
Well, but we were already live, I think.
No, we're not. We're not.
Okay,
live.
it's not yet.
Well,
All
now
right.
we're live.
Mine says live.
Now we're live.
Now we are. Okay, good.
But the main thing is,
Yes.
we can all agree
Yes.
that tendies are better than nuggies.
Depends on the tendy, depends on the nuggie.
When was the last time you had good nuggies?
It's a valid point. Because nuggies are usually fake chicken. Chicken tenders, at least, you've got a shot at getting real chicken.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed, but you have a shot.
Yeah, but sometimes I just need those dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggies.
Yeah, just like sometimes you just gotta have a hot dog and call it a day.
Yeah, you don't want a steak. You just want a hot dog.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Has a really inside joke for everyone to enjoy.
All right. Is everybody ready to
Because
do
I'm not
this?
explaining that shit.
Yeah.
I have lines.
Dude,
I don't cry. You gotta have standards.
I don't think you do.
I have the minimal amount of standards.
Okay. On this episode of the Culture Smash Cast,
The mother of dragons prepares for a secret invasion.
Y'all want some head cheese?
And Falcon and Winter Soldier spoilers, we're getting Captain America 4.
it's the Culture Smash Cast, episode 564 for April the 28th, 2021. I'm Stephen Lackey, editor of CultureSmash.tv. Nico?
Nicholas Qualls, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
Tina?
Tina Qualls, contributor to CultureSmash.tv.
And Zach.
Zach Martin, the dumbass, idiot, fool, guy.
That's all
Yeah.
pretty
He
right.
doesn't
Yeah, but
then
even
again-
go here.
If you're,
That's true.
but here's the thing. Here's the most important thing.
What's the most important thing?
At work today,
Yeah.
we had a movie trivia contest.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, guess who landsidedly won?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I had
Yeah.
3,600 points. The person under me had 400.
I would have been surprised if you didn't win. I would have been disappointed if you lost. Zach.
Exactly.
I'm
Dude,
not
these were-
surprised that you won.
Dude,
Especially considering that you were just going against regular, non-movie people.
would you like me to tell you one of the hard questions?
A hard
this
question?
quiz?
Was it hard for you or a hard question?
Okay. This was one of the questions. on
Actually,
this
don't
thing.
answer that. I don't want to know if anything's hard for
Name
you.
the movie from this quote. May the force be with you.
That's a hard question?
No, that is one of the questions on this
Oh,
quiz.
well,
I
no
was
wonder
like,
you won.
first off,
There's more than one.
12 films.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had a good shot at getting it.
I'm like, the person who made this quiz doesn't even understand that. Who is Gotham's clown prince of crime? Is it Bozo?
Well, hey, at least they got that title correct. That's shocking to me.
I mean,
Honestly.
it was like, this is embarrassing. I felt so bad.
I mean, that's very similar to how when my work did Marvel trivia, I blew everybody out of the water.
Exactly. As it should be.
It
I would
sucks,
accept it
though.
no other way.
It sucks though.
No, it doesn't. Winning is good.
Yeah, but there comes a point where at the football game, when you're 100 points above the other team, they just let the clock run.
Yeah. That's true.
There was no mercy here, and I felt bad after a while. It's like
You
guys,
felt
stop-
bad
stop
about
giving
something?
me easy questions.
I don't know if this is
I
true.
wouldn't. I'd be like, yes, give me more chances to prove my superiority.
So I made my own quiz and submitted it to the person that ran it and said, "You should just come to me for a movie trivia."
Well, okay, so now you went too far. Now
Well,
you
yeah, because-
you
I'll-
cemented your superiority.
do you want?
Also, if the other people in the contest were doing as poorly as you say they were, what makes you think they'll be any good at your trivia contest?
Exactly.
So-
You just weighted the game even further in your direction.
No, the problem is usually you have a buzzer that you go in. The
Mhm.
rules of this were we're going to go to the first person and they can go as long as, until they mess up.
Mhm.
Well, then it came to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't mess up.
Oh, well, that's a bad game. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a bad
I was
game.
like, this is unfair for
Yeah.
anyone else.
Yeah, that's a bad game.
That's why I felt bad.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, pack it up, boys. The game's over.
So what have you guys been up to this weekend? Moving on.
dominating on trivia as well. Now, let's see, what did we do outside of? Oh, I played and beat the. I'm 3 years behind the 2018 God of War game.
I saw you post about that. You were playing it for the first time.
Yeah,
you liked it.
I got it. Tina got it for me for Christmas a year and a half ago. It wasn't this Christmas. It was last Christmas, I think.
And you just got around to it.
It was 2019 Christmas.
I mean, I'm terrible at playing video games for any stretch, and especially having the puppy took out a lot of time. But she had been napping a lot this weekend, recovering from surgery. So yeah, I put in this weekend and last weekend. I put in enough hours and I beat the story on Sunday. It was really good. I really enjoyed. I've never actually played any of the previous God of War games. I know about them just because I would read reviews and recaps so I generally knew the story of the games, but I never actually played them. But I played this one and it was a lot of fun.
I have never played a God of War game. They do look fun.
Yeah, you basically get an axe version. You get Stormbreaker as your main weapon in the game. You have an axe that you could throw and it returns back to you and it freezes things. And that was really cool. Eventually you get the trademark Blades of Chaos, the blades on the chains that you could swing around and light things on fire with. So it is a lot of fun combat stuff. I played on easy just because I just like going in and being a superhero and beating the crap out of things really easily and getting through the story. So yeah, I had a good time.
I honestly, most of the time will play on casual too, if there's a story, because that's what I'm most interested in.
Yeah.
It's on the game. If I'm not having fun, then I will bump the difficulty down.
Yeah.
Like Doom Eternal is a perfect example of I'm not straight up not having a good time with this game. I'm not having fun. Turned out easy.
So I'm playing Outriders right now, which I know Zach's his little group is like, oh, that game's going to suck, but we're having a really good time with it. And I did get to play, some this weekend. I mean, it's just a shooter, but it's co-op, and good co-op games are hard to come by. And I refuse to count something like Warzone, because you just go in there and you get your ass handed to you. And then you respawn and your ass gets handed to you again.
I was going to disagree with you, but last night we played.
Yep.
And man, we had an awful night. Every single round, we just got our ass handed to us.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It was a bad night.
What did you do this weekend, Tina, while he was playing God of War?
Working, and then I finished season 1 of Hell's Kitchen.
Season 1?
Yep, I went old back.
You really did.
Yeah,
it's on my to-do list to watch this most current season because it's over now, I think.
Yeah, we finished season 18, and then I was like, you know what? I haven't seen like any of the other seasons, so I was like, okay, let's go back and watch from season 1. So, because Amazon Prime has all up until the end of season 18. Yeah.
I'm watching Top Chef right now. It's current. So Zach and I had an interesting weekend. We literally spent the entire weekend in the theater. We saw 3 movies in the theater this weekend.
Nice.
A long time since we can say we've done that.
Yeah, no, I'll only mention one right now because the other 2 are going to come up later. We saw Street Gang, documentary about where
Sesame Street.
Yeah, where Sesame Street, the creation of Sesame Street. And I'm not like I remember Sesame Street from a kid, but it's not like my jam necessarily. But documentaries are, so I was happy to see it. And overall, I think we thought it was pretty good. It was fun to see it in the theater because I think the best moments in it are the bloopers that they had. They had actually
the audience laughing adds a
everybody
together.
I
forgot how much like a audience laughing can elevate a moment in a film.
Yeah, because there's a lot of bloopers where, especially Oscar the Grouch. I'd heard this before that when the puppeteers, the Muppeteers, whatever they call them, when they have the actual their Muppet on their hands, regardless of what they're doing, that Muppet is moving its mouth to what they're saying. So when something happens and there's a blooper or something gets screwed up on the set and they start cussing like a sailor, Oscar the Grouch is saying some really nasty stuff. And it never isn't funny. It's like funny every time they show one.
It's just really funny to see Big Bird be like,
Big Bird.
where? Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
Big Bird
"Aw."
just be like, where the hell is the envelope?
Or like, oh shit, I missed my mark. You know, it's so that stuff is fun. The downside of that movie is it is if the movie is the only experience you have with Sesame Street, you would believe the show ended somewhere in the mid 80s because they really only focus on like 1972 or 3 to about right before 90, I guess. After Jim Henson died and one of the showrunners dies, it's kind of the end of the movie, and I think it's disrespectful a little bit to the 30 years that came after that, you know, that the show is still in existence.
There's also like, no conflict.
There's no conflict. It's all rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, there's no like they're going to get canceled or what they did to change it up. It's just it was an amazing experience from start to.
I mean, at least Mr. Rogers had the going to Congress bit.
Yeah, there was real conflict in the Mr. Rogers story, and they did not shy away from the nasty rumors that used to chase him. And
there's even that part in the Mr. Rogers part where after the 9/11, it's like we need you to say something. He's like, I don't know what to say, anything positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to where you can feel there was some struggle.
Exactly.
Like, none of that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did Snuffleupagus get to cuss and swear and all that stuff?
I only saw Oscar the Grouch and
just Oscar the Grouch did, and Bert and Ernie would have some pretty funny interactions. Yeah,
I just want to see a big fuzzy elephant just curse up a storm.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't remember seeing him.
It's rated PG.
Yeah, so it's only to a certain level of cursing, but still, yeah. So it's if you're a fan of Sesame Street, especially the 70s and 80s era when Henson was still like there, it's a good movie to see. And boy, like he said, being back in the theater and reacting in a group was amazing. And it was only, what are they at, 30% capacity?
Something like that.
Something like that. I tell you what, it's amazing though, because this is our local art house theater. I don't know. I hope other theaters are doing something like this in whatever city you're in listening to this. They had ushers. They have ushers at the door. You don't get to go in and sit because they don't have a tool that allows you to pick your seats when you buy your tickets.
I prefer Dr. Dre's.
Dr. Dre? Oh. Dad jokes. Dad jokes. But yeah, they actually walk you to your seats. They ask you kind of what area of the theater you would like to sit, and they walk you there, let you go sit. And the seats that are unavailable have bungee cable wrapped around them. They're not messing around. Yeah, it's like around over the top. So very, very cool experience. We're going to get to more later. We also saw.
I have a.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say we also saw Mortal Kombat in the Imax. We'll be talking about that one. And we saw demonSlayer as a double feature with the Sesame Street movie. And we'll talk about that in a minute too.
So I got a question, Steven.
Yeah.
If I wanted to go see a movie this week, what movies would be available for me?
What movies would be available, or
I'm leading you into the box office.
Well, but if you're asking me what movies would be available, well, I have what's coming out new also. So.
Just go into the box office.
Do it.
Yeah, that did not work. Sorry, Tina.
Even your boy says that don't work.
Hey, she's got a higher ratio than the rest of us.
I think it was a fair transition. Steven just dropped it.
It wasn't. If you'd said, well, how much did those movies make this weekend? That would have been. I would have said, well, let me tell you. Let's pretend that just happened. Number 10 is The Courier. It made $264,000. It's made $5.9 million so far in the box office. Number 9 is The Girl Who Believes in Miracles. That made $342,000. It has made $2.4 million so far. Number 8 is Together. I don't know anything about that one. It's brand new. It opened with $532,000.
I know this one. This is like the Ed Helm movie. Loner becomes a surrogate for a single man in his 40s trying to have a child.
Okay. Number 7 is Tom and
Yay.
Jerry. Should not be in the list still. That's horrible. It made $720,000. It's made $43 million so far. 43 and a half.
I'll take Tom and Jerry over like the war with Grandpa.
Yeah. Number 6 is The Unholy. It made 1.4 million. It's made 11.6 million so far in its box office journey. Number 5 is Raya and the Last Dragon. That one made 1.7 million. It's made 39, right at $40 million. Number 4 is Nobody. It made 1.7 million over the weekend. Literally between those two, it's 1,741,000 versus 1,742,000. It's that close. But anyway,
Wow.
21.5 million. Nobody has made.
Less than $1,000.
Yeah, it's right there.
Wow.
Number 3 is Godzilla versus Kong. It made $4.2 million. It's made 86.6 million so far. All right, new this week. The last 2 are new openings. Number 1 is demonSlayer, the movie. What is that?
Mugen
Train.
Mugen Train. It made $21,000 so far.
21,000.
I'm sorry, 21 million.
Yeah.
21 million. And number 1, Mortal Kombat. It made 23 million so far. We have things to say.
Yeah,
Zach and I have things to say.
Words.
Opening this weekend is Separation. All I know is it's a horror movie. There's no Rotten Tomato or Metacritic ratings for it yet.
I'm kind of curious on your thoughts on demonSlayer because I doubt either of you have watched the show.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Full disclosure, Steven,
Yes.
how many episodes of demonSlayer have you watched?
0.
Okay, I have watched 3. And then we had another friend of mine who had seen about half of season 1.
Yeah.
So going into this film, I had read some reviews that says, if you're not a fan, it's fine. If you are a fan, it's fine. You don't
And it's
have
fine
to see
because
the show.
Literally, it wouldn't have mattered if they were showing paint dry. We were going to buy tickets to it.
Yeah. So, Steven, do
Okay.
you want to start?
Okay.
Let me preface by I already know one of the issues that if it pops up with Stevens, because one of my friends said the subtitles were completely ruined.
What?
Well, it wasn't really that. I mean, they were too fast, and they were. Did you notice the heavy bordering that were around the edges of those subtitles?
They were okay. So about the subtitles, yeah, they have a heavy border.
It made them blurry to me.
No, to me it was razor sharp. The problem is the anime behind it was soft as shit.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, okay.
It looked like it was made in 720p.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't have the issue that my friend in Boston did, where they would have some of the subtitles if it was like a long speech or a monologue or something like that.
Mhm.
Some of the subtitles would be at the top of the screen. And
Oh,
they'd
yeah.
like,
Yes.
Yeah. We had that, and
Okay.
yeah, that was kind of weird.
I think they were trying
Usually
to-
when you move them around like that, there's purpose, but I didn't really see the purpose.
Yeah, I think the reason was they didn't want to cover the mouth, but I don't care.
Yeah, but his were cut off. Like, say that there were 3 lines at the top, he would only see that last 3rd line.
Oh,
That's
no.
called
So he
bad
was like, I
projection.
have no
Yeah,
idea what's going
That's
on.
called bad projection.
Yeah, they weren't projecting it properly because we didn't have that issue at all.
That's why we go to the primo place to see this.
Yeah. But that does bring to light a huge problem I have with the movie. And we'll get to that in a second. But my biggest thing is, and I told this to Zach, I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love Marvel stuff, right? But when I go to a Marvel movie, if that movie is not a standalone movie, 100% of itself, what are you doing?
Nothing. Pay attention. Don't pay attention.
If it's not its own movie, beginning, middle, and end, I'm going to ding it. I mean, that would be my only criticism of Infinity War, is in a lot of ways it wasn't its own movie the way Endgame was. But there's a basic expectation of it to be a movie. And this thing is not a movie. It starts kind of in the middle of a story and it ends with no ending.
So
Like
full
you could
disclosure-
tell it is squished in between what's probably going to be a couple of seasons of story that are going to fill out
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Full disclosure, if you have not 100% caught up with demonSlayer, do not watch this. This is literally meant to be like, you just finished season 1. This is the thing to go into season 2.
It's not a
So-
movie.
Yeah, so I am caught up. I've seen all of season 1, and I know the ending of season 1 is them at the train station.
It literally
onto
picks up
the
right there.
titular train.
It literally picks up right there.
And here's the other thing is what little I did know about the show, the one character that I thought was going to be really cool and interesting doesn't do shit in this movie. Literally, she has nothing to do and only appears a few times in the...
Oh, the sister?
Yeah,
the sister literally has like
her.
one scene.
Yeah, it's like, what? What?
Yeah.
This is like the coolest character, and she's not in the movie.
I don't know what the tone is because the first 10 minutes is going between comedy, kawaii shit.
Zach got his best laugh in that first 10 minutes, and it was because of me.
Oh.
So I was excited at...
No, it wasn't the best laugh.
Okay, well, yeah, there was one better laugh. Okay.
We'll get there.
So I was excited to have a cocktail at the theater again. So I got myself a vodka tonic because I wasn't sure the person they had could do much else. So anyway, I was planning to just sip it through the movie and enjoy it or whatever. But at 10 minutes in, there was so much cringe shit happening on screen. There's one
You
character.
drank out of awkwardness.
I hammered it. I'm like, fuck this. And I just knocked it back. I'm like, this movie's pissed me off. I got mad. There's a character that has, okay, so you wouldn't know if you came in to just watch the movie, you wouldn't know that this one character didn't have like a big pig head for a head. Now we learned later that it's a hat.
Chase turns to me in the theater and goes, by the way, that's a hat he wears.
That character is a piece of shit. I fucking hate that character. The
You
first
need Inosuke?
Oh, yeah, Inosuke, yeah.
the first 10 minutes of that movie, all he does is scream. Like literally every scene he's in, he screams. And he's screaming out the window, and he's screaming through a doorway, and he's screaming in a seat. And it's like I watched anime, my entire life, and I've seen bad anime, and that's a bad anime character. It's not that humor is bad. It's terrible. But if that's the direction you're gonna go, okay. But then all of a sudden it slams into a wall and never goes back there again. It goes from there into heavy melodrama, and then from there into horror, and it kind of meanders back and forth between melodrama and horror, which is a lot in anime, and that's okay. But it's like this tonal shift that happens at about 15 minutes in that is just completely bizarre. And then the problem you were talking about with the subtitles. You know how I am about show it and don't tell it, right? Well, this thing spends more time telling you the story than actually doing it. You will have one character with 5 solid minutes. I'm talking about real 5 or 6 minutes of
non-exaggerating,
standing there talking and talking and talking and talking. One character, I don't want to spoil, and I'm not gonna, but I'll just say it like this. One character says, "I'm about to die." He says it, and then he talks for 5 minutes afterwards. I'm like, motherfucker, are you about to die?
Are you gonna die?
Not?
Please die.
Just die. You stop
Die so
talking
the movie
and
can be
die.
over.
It's, I hate, I looked at Zach and I said, I hate this.
And I'm like, we're halfway through, and I'm like,
I hate this.
dude, I'm just gonna sit through this shit.
Oh yeah, I wasn't leaving. But I can tell you this, if this was 2019 and it was a midnight movie,
We would have watched.
20 minutes in, we would have been out of there.
No, we would have been like,
And
get
this-
our money back
yeah,
or a voucher.
And I know that Zach is a lot softer on anime than me.
Yeah.
I mean, I look to a lot of things that are different, like Cowboy Bebop to me was the last great anime series,
so
TV series. So, my expectation is a little different, and I get that. But then when I see, like, Zach's friend Chase, who actually has watched part of the show, was apologizing to us for how bad the movie was at the end. And we're like, you didn't do it, dude. It wasn't your fault.
he turned to us and he's like, I am so sorry, guys. I really did not mean. And this isn't just we haven't seen the show. This is bad writing. This is bad pacing.
Well, it's bad story
This is
execution
bad.
too. Just I'm watching anime. Show me beautiful anime. Don't show me a person standing
And
here for
people are
5 minutes talking.
People are talking about how the animation is unbelievable and mind-blowing. And I'm going, this is pretty standard.
Well, to me, a lot of it looked like just 3 or 4 steps above Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Because you would have these fight scenes where, here we go, because we've heard the fight scenes are good. And then it's a still shot with a guy's eyes moving or some electricity moving around him. And he's just floating in midair. And I'm like, this is like the old school Dragon Ball Z. I thought you were going to show me some good 2D, 3D hybrid stuff or something like that. And there was none of that.
like the villain is just a nice Freddy Krueger.
Well, don't get too spoilery because
that's-
Nico actually likes the show.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But
I'm not too
the
terribly
villain,
concerned, but
Okay.
thanks.
the villain sucks. So the movie doesn't know what to do, and then something else happens.
I really
That
want to
is the
say, I'm not
Oh,
going
I
to
wanna
say
say
it.
it.
Does Michael Jackson come in?
Yeah,
I mean, pretty much.
pretty much. Yeah.
It's menacingly.
So
I mean,
there's
he
one
holds his
scene, and
hand.
I'm not going to spoil it because you need to experience it for yourself.
Oh my god!
But the scene that was the best laugh,
it broke us.
it broke both of us. There was a scene at the end of such heavy melodrama that we both bust out laughing.
It wasn't. It was.
It was
me,
like, is this
Chase,
happening?
And Steven losing our shit, and everyone else is dead silent in the theater because it was one of those moments that the film snaps in half. It like is so dumb.
And this is what I can't figure out. This is what I can't figure out because the other reviews that I've seen
They're all positive.
are pretty good. They're like, oh, it's pretty good. But
Every
when
review I've
even when
seen.
you look at Chris Duckman, who's a reviewer, a YouTube reviewer that I actually watch a lot, he was like, I liked it. It's pretty good. But it's coming from hardcore fans of the show. If you're a hardcore fan of the show and you were caught up, then maybe this is like an extended episode and maybe it's better
Yeah.
in that way. But it's not a movie and not even close to a movie.
It's bad.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
bad.
shocks me how everyone's just giving it a fucking pass.
Yeah.
It's not good.
But mostly I was excited to see it because it's the highest selling box office movie of all time in Japan. I'm like, this is better than everything else. Let me see it. And
Yeah, this thing made more money. Let's see what it's got. And it's like, holy shit.
so this show must be very popular over there.
Oh no, it's huge.
It is
Japan.
pretty popular. Yeah.
Well, and there are other factors because there were limited movies in the theater, so there were probably a lot of repeat viewings, and I know that helped Avatar here. So I don't know. I would love for you guys to see it and give me your thoughts because you like the show.
I will die on the hill and say it's
I
not
will
good
say
movie.
I have not watched a single episode of the show. I just
Yeah, I'm the
know
one.
it based on all the memes.
Good. I just
No.
saved you like $10.
Yeah, that's $10 for you. So
I mean,
Mortal
I will
Kombat?
die on the hill and say it is not a good movie.
yeah,
I will die
it's
on the
a
hill.
bad movie. So Mortal Kombat. Now I'm not going to get into spoilers because I know you guys haven't seen it.
No, we actually have.
Oh, you did see it. Did you watch
This is
it?
gonna be
Yeah.
this is gonna be the interesting point because you two saw it in theaters in IMAX.
We saw it on
saw it at
HBO.
home.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first feeling about it right away, because I've already kind of been having some discussions with different people on social media about it, is seeing it in
a
the
huge Mortal Kombat fan?
seeing it in the theater adds points to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think for us it was a really fun experience. We saw it in the IMAX. Overall, and just
With an audience too.
yeah, it was a pretty good sized audience in there.
Those funny moments
Were
are
really funny.
lifted.
Yeah,
Yeah, Nico
Um,
and I were discussing, and we're like, we probably would enjoy this better if it was in the theater, but our viewing experience at home, it just didn't do it for us.
right. Okay, I understand it. And Jack
Streaming
and I both
movies
come
at
out.
home is the same as seeing it in a theater.
We came out of it at about a 6.5 out of 10, both of us.
6.5, 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Mostly had a good time. Now, are there a ton of plot holes and should you pay much attention to the story? Nope.
I just
but
don't know what the point of Cole's character is. Like,
Yeah.
Well, he's the bloodline of the Hanzo, which
Okay,
is
we
the
understand.
catalyst for Mortal Kombat, right?
we got that, but it's like he only serves the purpose of driving the plot forward. He has no actual interesting or redeeming qualities
He
that
is
really
there.
makes us care about him.
He is there solely to be an audience insert. So when they start
he's a Lego
talking
block.
about this stuff,
Mhm.
you as the audience have a reason to hear it instead of everyone knowing all of this information and regurgitating it anyway.
well, and
But what's
Speaking
the
of-
point of?
there's I agree with you. He's not a great character.
No.
And I think the other issue for hardcore Mortal Kombat fans is why not use a character everybody already cares about?
Yeah, it's not only is he not a great character, he's not a character anyone's invested in
And
already
you don't
because he's
have
a
to
new
use Liu
character.
Kang. You don't. You could use tons of other characters.
Although you should
that-
use Liu Kang because
You-
he's the main character.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling
It's
Zach. is
like,
Liu
and
Kang
a
is
lot of
really-
the characters that they did use kind of either fell flat or they didn't do them really any justice. The thing that one of the things that almost immediately pissed me off when it was introduced was Sonya, because it's like she was, especially if you're a 90s baby or an 80s baby, and you know that first Mortal Kombat, she's a badass through and through, even in the games. And the fact that they only use her for exposition until like the last 10 minutes of the movie really just sat sour with me.
And see, I got to disagree 100% with you on that one because she's one of the characters I liked, because I think for me, she actually brought like character to the actor. I mean, she's so much better than the previous Sonya that.
I think the actor
The actress
was
was
really
fine.
good.
But
The
also
fact that they only
she-
used her for disposition.
to me, at the end of the movie, I think she was really proven to be the most badass of them. I mean, she fought her way to where she was without having the mark or any powers or anything. And then at the end, well, not at the end, but in the last chapter, she kills one of the dudes and takes his mark from him. I think they set her up. Yeah, that is one thing about this movie, is it is through and through built for a sequel. And I think they set her up to be the
They
badass
really
character.
missed a chance to really do like a bomb ass, like even mid-credit scene or after credit scene.
Exactly.
To set it up.
But she was one of the characters that I actually liked. I liked her. I thought she had, I enjoyed seeing the actress compared to all the other actors. I thought she was great, other than one.
See, for me, Mortal Kombat is, I mean, I grew up with playing the game like Mortal Kombat 1, and I'm talking like for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So for me, Mortal Kombat, the game, is the same thing as porn.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the story, get to the fighting.
Yeah.
Nobody cares in porn, nobody cares about story, get to the sex.
Yeah.
So when you're like, this character, I can't believe they did her that way. I'm like, nobody cares.
I didn't care about how that. Yeah, I didn't know who she. Like, I've played most of the Mortal Kombat games. There's been a few in the late, like 7, 8, and 9 or whatever. That I mean,
this from a perspective of, I don't know. I didn't even know Mortal Kombat has a story.
Oh, I played most of them, but when the story starts, that's when I hit X. I've never paid any attention to any of the story. So that is funny, because the other person that I disagreed with this on is somebody who paid attention to the story in the games. So I can see how maybe that's
probably where I'm coming from, because I always did do story mode.
Yeah.
Most of my Mortal Kombat fandom, I guess, goes up through like the first 3 or 4 games, like in 1, 2, 3 trilogy. Once it got into 4 and 3 and 3D graphics and stuff, I kind of started falling out of it. But that and the original movie, I still enjoy the first movie because it's campy fun.
It's cheesy goodness.
Yeah, it's not good, but I enjoy it too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's warm, cheesy flavor on nachos. Like, that's, it's bad for you, but you still eat it.
I think this movie has some good bits. I think it's
shining spots.
Its self-awareness is really good. It puts game stuff in the background, like command stuff on graffiti art in the background. Yeah. I liked when Cole pointed out that Mortal Kombat is misspelled.
Yeah,
I loved in the temple you actually got to see Katana's blades, like her fans.
Yeah, that was a cool set piece. Yeah. Yeah, it was in
because I paused. I was like, look, there they are.
She did.
And of course, I also am sour because they killed off my absolute Mortal Kombat favorite character.
Who is that?
So, I love me my Kung Lao Lao. My Lao Lao.
Yeah, I
have a thing for like razor hats.
I like him.
He was too good.
He's the one I actually played with in Mortal Kombat 11.
His death did not feel justified. Yeah. It was like, we need a death for the end of the second act. Grab someone. And
we need an Agent Coulson moment. That's what we need.
He was too good though as a fighter up like as we've seen so far, it's like, okay, we can't have him in the final. So he's gonna show up, everybody. We need to kill him. It's like, oh god damn.
Yeah, but he
But,
gets the best fatality.
yeah,
I will say some of those deaths were amazing.
His fatality.
Yes.
Yeah. I
His
like that
fatality
they
was
put
so
in
good.
fatalities really well in there. That was really good. But yeah, going back to
Flawless
Cole,
victory.
he's so bland, and not only is his like storyline bland, his power set is dumb. They gave
So he
him like
gets-
Black Panther's suit. That's
Yes,
how
I
he
was
has.
just about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So okay, so that everything you say about him is true, but on top of that, though, here's the first thing: is to do Mortal Kombat. It is Mortal. It's a game tournament. It's a tournament. To do that in a film is you are setting yourself up for failure. It's stupid. So the thing I appreciated in this movie is there wasn't even a tournament. It was discussed, but that wasn't what the movie ended up being about. And I love that. It wasn't anticipated whatsoever. I thought, well, okay, we're going to get to the tournament in a second. And it didn't. And I actually appreciated that it didn't.
Well, apparently movie 2 is going to be all tournament, and then movie 3 is all post-tournament.
But maybe.
Yeah,
And maybe that could be really cool. The other thing, Ichi the Killer.
Okay. Can I say my favorite thing?
What?
My favorite thing in this film is honestly, okay, so they regroup and they go, oh God, how are we going to beat the bad guys? And they find a way organically to send 2 people to a location that looks straight out of the games.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense in world.
Yeah, the settings were fantastic. Like,
well,
Wait,
no, it's
they're
not
like,
even.
we need this
But
person,
what
this
he's not
person.
talking about is the setting necessarily. It's the story tool that they use to get them in those spaces. It wasn't like, begin. It was like, here's a story reason to get these people separated in those spaces.
I agree with that. I think the gamification of the movie is really well done. How they were able to, it's like, all right, these are stages in the fighting game, and we worked them into the movie narrative really well. I thought that was a good method. All my complaints are entirely based on the lead character of this movie is boring, and I don't care.
But
Well,
see,
that and-
also though, every time Sub-Zero and Scorpion are on screen, shit is awesome. I love both of them.
Nico got a little upset at like the last fight scene, the Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight scene, because he was like, he says, "Get over here."
Hold on, Tina. Then let me. This is mine. He speaks no English. He is from like what 1600s Japan.
You know, you can learn a lot of things in hell.
One English phrase apparently in hell. Get over here. And then after the fight's done, when he decides to talk to his descendant, he switches to Japanese.
Instantly knows Japanese.
So
I in my mind, I like to think I assume my descendants speak Japanese. They're not so terrible that they would not be able to speak my native language. So I'm not going to believe that they're that terrible.
So there's a lot of story issues. And one thing that I questioned Zach about at the end of it is, okay, so they set this guy up, Scorpion, to be kind of like the good guy or whatever, and his family gets attacked, Revenge of the Ninja style at the beginning. Well, when he dies, why did he go to hell? I mean, why did he have to go to hell?
We don't know what his life was like before then.
Yeah, and that leads into we don't even
go to hell when they die.
But he wasn't an outworlder. They hit him.
Yeah, he was from Earth. Earth.
And we don't even know the conflict between the two like families or whatever. They never even give us that. We just know that there was conflict.
Yeah.
But I mean, you had Ichi the Killer, and he was great. I loved having to see him again. And those two together on screen were always entertaining to me.
I will say.
Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I will say my biggest complaint is that the fights themselves were an editing nightmare.
Yeah, they were.
It's a fighting game, guys. Get the guys who did the Raid or John Wick or anyone to re-choreograph this fight.
Stop tapping.
It's not picking up. Anyway.
So just to make sure, you're saying the guy who plays Scorpion is the guy who plays Ichi the Killer? Because I don't think that's right.
No, it's one of the two of them. I have to look at it again.
The guy who played Raiden.
Which Zach had issues with him.
God,
but
Raiden's
I
a big
didn't,
old
but-
pussy,
What,
and his
because-
eyes suck.
Because he's not played by a Frenchman in an entirely Asian setting.
That's what I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's better.
Yeah, no, Raiden is in an Ichi the Killer. So yeah, that was that one.
Yeah.
I agree. Raiden was I didn't like Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung was boring.
Yeah, he
Dude.
was.
Yeah. I don't
I
disagree
mean,
with that.
he kind of had like a double-edged sword there, because not only is he playing like the main bad guy, so he like you got to have that hate coming to you anyway. But the fact that you're stepping into a role that is played by one of like the best Asian actors and made that character iconic in like the first set of Mortal Kombat movies. I mean, I turned to Nico in the middle of the movie when you first see Shang Tsung, and I'm like, "Your soul is mine," and just like all that facial like
Yeah.
emotion
Yeah,
and all that stuff from
Yeah.
Yeah, Kerry Hiroyuki Tagawa is just so good in that role. But and a lot of it
Yeah.
is because he hangs
yeah.
up so much in that movie.
So
So obviously, though, there were budget issues, and I think the fight scenes took a hit on the budget because it's, if you notice, they're that quick cut close up thing, so you don't really get to see the choreography to the degree that you would like. I mean, ultimately, if you're going to nod at the gamers, split them up across on each side of the screen the way they do in the game, and then let them come together and fight.
have the aspect ratio changed.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, but
Like
either
the
way, just zoom out.
Maybe they'll do that on the tournaments.
Let me see that choreography happen. Let me see
I
those
have
fights
to-
happen a little better.
All right,
I
we
have
should
to
probably
wonder,
not drill
though-
too much. We got more.
One last
Yeah.
thing.
Sure.
I have to wonder though, what would Jax's Arcana be had he kept his arms?
Yeah.
The world may never know.
We will never know.
I will
Overall, it was for us at the theater, seeing it on a giant ass screen. It's like the first one. It's not a great
Yeah,
movie.
and I'm
but-
sure if we had seen it on that big of a screen, we would have had a different view.
I will stand by, with all of its failings, if you look at it as a quality of the movie, it's a better movie than the first one.
question: if your soul gets sucked into what's his face,
Yeah.
does he get like younger, or
I don't know.
like he eats your soul? Does
Yeah.
he gain any from that?
I think he gains like your knowledge or abilities. Yeah, he in the
Okay.
game it's your powers. He gets your
Yeah.
power set, I think.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
They never explain that.
No,
I was
they
just
don't.
curious.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
why
it
does
is
he
kinda
want it?
weird.
All right, let's talk about some other trailers, some stuff that we haven't seen yet. So let's talk about Luca real quick, because I didn't even know about that until Zach actually just got here and said, "Did you see Luca?"
Well, it
So-
just
I
dropped
think it looks
today.
cute.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
the
it
new
just
Pixar
dropped
movie.
today.
So what did you guys think of it?
Yeah, it looks
I think it looks cute. I will say I'm leaning more towards. I'm liking more that they're leaning more towards like artists, like not going so realistic, like with How to Train Your Dragon, with like Frozen, where like it's all that trying to make the hair look real, trying to make the water look real, trying to make everything else look real. I like that it has an artistic take on it. And I think it looks cute. I don't think it's going to be a groundbreaking film, but I think it looks cute.
So let me tell you what I told Zach after I saw this is, so I don't like the story because I feel like they've done it like 77 times by now, except this time they really went on the nose with the fish out of water story. Don't you think? I mean, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, I feel the opposite of you in the innovation side, Tina, because I remember when Monsters Inc. came out and everybody saw Sully's hair and it was like, holy shit, these guys are pushing it. These guys are pushing the art. They're doing something. But when I look at this one, I'm like, oh, it looks like Inside Out. I mean, it really,
It doesn't.
it's fine.
It just doesn't look good. Like the smiles. Okay. Has anyone here seen Steven Universe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you know that artistic smile, like mouth look?
Yeah.
It's like it struck again. Here it is in a Pixar film. And I hate that. But this, I've been saying this like all day, is that I have no proof of this. This is just a feeling. It feels like there's two teams in Pixar. There's one team that did Onward, and there's one team that did Soul. And it feels like this is the Onward team.
This is the B team.
This is
Oh,
the B
yeah.
team.
Yeah, it definitely
And-
is that.
Yeah, it's totally
Feels
the
like
B
another
team.
Onward. And Onward
With it coming
sucked.
straight on the heels of Soul, this has to be the B team.
Yeah, this is the same team that did the dinosaur movie. Good
The
dinosaur.
Good Dinosaur.
Yeah. I mean, the look of it not being that innovative would be fine if I was really gravitating toward a unique story that I hadn't seen 77 times. It just to me just feels, all right.
And not going to theaters.
Yeah, I'm curious about what's going on with Pixar because Pixar is being treated differently than other Disney properties. You know, they're not getting the premium treatment. What did you think of it, Nico?
No, it's like, yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, it's unremarkable. That's the thing.
You should not
Okay.
be saying that about a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It is very much that feeling that it's an A team, B team kind of situation.
It's basically it's the movie that they want to put out in order to keep you entertained and knowing Pixar's name until they release their next A-team movie.
Or to keep justifying people being subscribed to Disney Plus.
So you're saying I should not watch this movie because you know it's going to be a subpar film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, it's to hold over people until the 18.
Well, no, because
No, I'm saying I think it's them putting out content. It's more keeping subscribers. It's trying to keep people on Disney Plus.
and plus parents will have their little kids watch it regardless of quality because they
Yeah.
used to watch those crappy direct-to-DVD movies all the time. Those things made huge money.
I mean, but this is Pixar. It's prestige.
It's
it should-
Pixar's
it-
direct-to-DVD move team.
It is. It really.
No, that's DreamWorks.
Well, no,
That's
that's
Illumination.
but that's a whole different thing.
That's
I mean, it's still probably better than in what you're going to get out of an Illumination movie.
Probably.
At least it doesn't have minions.
Yeah, thank God.
true. It's just
All right.
it's depressing.
Let's move on. Let's talk about the new Conjuring movie because I know everyone's so
Speaking of
excited
something
about that.
depressing. Speaking of
All right,
depressing.
Tina, you're the other horror movie person here. What did you think of?
I'm gonna be
Conjuring?
honest. I'm getting a little burned out on the Conjuring because it tends to always be kind of like the same plot over and over again.
Spooky ghost demon.
Spooky
Yeah,
Ghost
it's like
Demon.
I love
and
Ed and Lorraine Warren. I love I was huge. Like she was one of the people I continually suggested to have as a guest when we did GMX, but it's tiring.
Well, but you know what's really funny is you say that you're tired of The Conjuring, and this is a fault of a lot of people. This is only the third Conjuring movie.
It's had like 3 spin-offs.
It's the Annabelle movies that keep coming with
Annabelle movies, the La Llorona, The Nun was great. I will say that
I hated The Nun.
I enjoyed it like
I
crazy.
hated it.
But
But then now, do all
because of it.
of those have these two main characters in it though? I don't know. I haven't seen
Like-
them all.
I know
No,
they're in the Annabelle movies.
Yeah.
they're in a few of the Annabelle movies. They get mentioned in no, it was another priest that they worked with that got mentioned in La Llorona.
They flaunt the
And
Conjuring
then The Nun is
brand.
a prequel to it. But yeah,
They flaunt the brand, attaching the brand to that. So when
it's in the
I-
Conjuring universe.
I don't think they do as much because I think the Annabelle brand is its own brand now. I think people have really kind of hooked into
Mm-mm.
that.
It's still in the CCU.
But no, it's still in it. No, I agree with you. It's still in it. But when I see the more recent Annabelle movies, I don't see Conjuring as much because it's become its own thing. It's sad to me because the first Conjuring is really good, and
Haven't
the
seen
second
it.
one is pretty good too.
I haven't seen it.
So, but this one, the problem I see here is the first thing is it looks like a law procedural. It looks like an episode of SVU with ghosts. And
It looks like
that's
they're just
awful.
using the same tricks over and over and over and over again. Like that scene that we just saw where chick's running down the hall and then she changes into a completely different person. We saw that in The Nun. You know,
Mhm.
it's like they're pulling the same tricks out of a new hat. Like boring after the bajillionth time.
Well, and you know what's really funny is I really like Vera Farmiga, this actress, and that's what gets me to look at them is because I want to see how she does or what she doesn't in them because she's usually really good.
Yeah, and I like the dude who plays Ed. I can't remember his name. but I like them as a team, and I think they're cast beautifully as Ed and Lorraine Warren. It's just
This looks bad.
yeah.
It just looks bad. That's it, and it makes me sad.
It also
I'll
looks
still go
PG-13.
see it because I know my nephews will want to go see it.
Well, I looked at Zach and I told him, I'm going to go see it because I've got that Regal Crown Club
back
happening.
now.
It's back now. I got billed today.
I'm not gonna waste my.
Ah, shit.
I got billed. All right, so let's get into something interesting. Let's talk about the results of our annual Oscar game.
All right. Drum roll, please. Coming in last place with 4 winning picks is
It's
Tina.
me.
What happened, Tina? What happened?
I wanted to be different, and different lost.
You and Mike. Mike always played that too when he played with us. All right.
Next up, in a 3-way tie for second place.
I'm not sure I want to know about a 3-way with anyone in this group.
It happens.
Nico, Steven, and Nathan. Oh, wait, I'm one of those.
Yeah,
who's the
Nathan
top?
would be involved in a 3-way.
And
Oh, God.
topping the group.
Human centipede. I'm in the front.
With 12 winning picks is Zach.
So it was kind of interesting watching this game happen because at the beginning, Nico was crushing it. Like the first 5, you
Nico
got
was like
all
4
of them.
for 4.
Yeah. I was really happy with the beginning of the
It was
Oscars.
fun
Yeah.
'cause
And then,
he wasn't
as with
watching
everyone
it,
else, I was really disappointed with the ending of the Oscars.
Oh, we'll
So-
get into that later. That's an actual
Called
story.
it. So Zach got 1 of the first 5, and I had 0. I was like, we were both like,
I'm about to be murdered
shit,
tonight.
we're gonna get killed. We're gonna.
3 out of my 4 were in the first 5 categories.
God, it was such a fascinating year because so much of it we didn't know how to predict.
I will say, I thought with it being like a COVID minded show and like very slimmed down that there'd be less cringe moments. Nope. So
Well,
much cringe.
for me,
It was still long.
well, and you know what's funny for me compared to other years, it kind of clipped along faster. And there was really only one really bad cringe moment that I hated. I think I just texted you guys cringe. Is that stupid karaoke thing. That thing was awful. With Glenn Close getting up and shaking her ass or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh.
like I don't need to see Glenn Close trying to twerk.
No,
I don't.
no
I
one
did
wants
not need
that.
that in my life.
That whole segment was awful. Awful.
Yeah.
Now I was laughing because they shot this in the subway terminal in
Mhm.
LA, and on occasion during the speeches you could hear
You
a
can
train
hear
go by.
Yep. It was really weird.
That was their times running out, moving along down.
Right?
It was really weird to have sunlight. Like at the beginning,
Yeah.
it was still daylight outside because it's in LA, and yeah, they had windows. You could see out. It was naturally lit. So that was a fascinating take compared to the typical theater that we see it in.
For the production, I didn't mind the production. There was a lot more handheld camera. It was a lot more lo-fi, but and it's weird to say this, but it was a confusing tone because you had a lot of sort of laid back approach to things. There was a lot of swagger and kind of chill attitude and stuff, but everybody's still in, $5,000 gown, tuxedos and $100,000 gowns.
You think the most expensive was 5,000, honey? No, those were going up to like 50,000, 75,000.
You get my point. I mean, it's like, what are you? Are we rolling this back? Are we gonna kind of be like hip and modern and chill and just crank up the R&B music, or are we gonna still be a gala ceremony? It was like a weird hybrid that I just had some trouble settling with.
I remember like when Angela Bassett came out to do the in memoriam, and she was doing her speech. Nico was like, she is like delivering on this. This is like a performance in and of itself. Everybody else kind of just looked dry and like just phoning it in.
Yeah,
compared to Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett came to work.
Yeah.
She was present. It like giving a speech.
And it was
Everybody
like,
else-
I just want to look
saw
at
her
that, and
dress-
I was like, see, I told you she was actually Storm. Damn it.
Yeah,
So-
no, when I saw her dress, I was like, damn, you could take a nap on her sleeves.
So full disclosure, I don't have cable, so I didn't watch it.
Well, you don't have local TV.
yeah, because it
that
was just
too.
on ABC.
Yeah.
Because if anyone out there is listening, people are cutting the cord and streaming, and it would be good to offer your program for streaming.
Okay, well, see, here's the thing. I was thinking about this. What
You
channel was
say
it?
that it's gonna be on Disney Plus.
It's in ABC. It should have been on Disney Plus
Mhm.
or Hulu.
Live?
Hulu's got live.
Yeah.
Wait, it
That's
was
what
on
I'm-
Disney Plus Live.
Huh?
No, I
No,
said
no, I'm saying
what?
it
I said
should have
be.
been because it's an ABC.
No, it's on ABC. It was
channel.
an ABC
Yeah,
broadcasting thing.
It was probably on Hulu on their live channels, and also,
Oh.
you
I don't
can
have that.
their live channels on YouTube.
Yeah, $60
Well, just
a month.
hey,
Uh-uh.
it is what it is.
I'll do that for the Olympics because it's
I'm
like
not.
2 weeks. But I'm not doing that for like one night. No.
I liked that reminds me of the one line that Tina said. I think it was when Soul won Best Animated Feature or something. It's like, how much did Disney pay for that? And I just panned over to the ABC logo on the TV. It's like that's how much, Tina.
I knew, like when that award was given, I knew Tina was going to be upset.
No, I like Soul. Don't get me wrong.
I know, but you had voted for a
Yeah.
different film.
I had.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess, do we want to get into the actual like Oscars?
Do you want me to go into my story?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah,
right.
because but before we do that, do you want to just like give us a sort of a rundown on the major ones, like the Best Picture,
Best Picture
actors,
went to Nomadland.
and Best Director was also
Best Director, yeah, Chloe Zhao, Nomadland.
Mhm.
Leading actor was Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins. Leading
Called it.
actress was Frances. Yeah, we know, Zach. We got it.
Yeah, Zach, we got it.
We already
Oh.
covered you winning the contest. Frances McDormand won leading actress. Daniel Kaluuya won supporting actor, and Yoo Jung Yoon won supporting actress.
Okay.
Soul got animated feature, and there's some other stuff in there. You could
Yeah,
find
you
it
can hit the
yourself.
Oscar page to see the entire list, but that's the big ones. So, Tina, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. So the Academy is facing major backlash and being accused of building Sunday night's Oscars ceremony around the late Chadwick Boseman and betting on him to win, only for the end of the show to fall into chaos when Anthony Hopkins won instead. Now, it's been a tradition since 1940 that the final category presented at the Oscars every year is Best Pictures, widely being regarded as the biggest award of the night. However, after the running order was kept under wraps in the lead up to the show, gotta keep it secret, gotta keep it safe, it was then revealed that there would be a change. For the first time in decades, the Best Actress and Best Actor categories would respectively conclude the show. When it became apparent that the Best Actor category would be the final award of the night, many thought that this would be an emotional and heartfelt nod to Chadwick Boseman, who was nominated for the first time, who unfortunately died of colon cancer last August at the age of 43. He was nominated for his starring role alongside Viola Davis in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which won a ton of awards. However, in what looked like a bet gone wrong, people were left stunned when the award was eventually given to Anthony Hopkins for his role in The Father.
Called
Made
it.
it even more awkward because
We get
Hopkins
it.
wasn't present to accept the award, nor did he show up via streaming or, Skyping in, meeting presenter Joaquin Phoenix accepted it on his behalf before the show went to credits. In a video posted on social media the morning after, Hopkins thanked the Academy and paid his respects to Boseman. He didn't think he was going to win, and he said he was very grateful to the Academy, and he wanted to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who was taken far too early. Considering the awards had been rearranged in order for Best Actor to come last, it seemed that the producers of the show had potentially pinned their hopes and bets on Boseman winning, only for it to backfire, and people were not happy. critics accused the Oscar of building the entire show around Boseman. And people were also quick to point out that they weren't upset with Hopkins winning, but with the Academy for shuffling the order of the categories and seemingly setting up Boseman for the win. The climax of the 2021 Oscars was maybe proof of one thing. The crew working behind the camera don't know crap about what's in the envelopes, who's winning, before they are opened on stage.
It was stupid.
So
The reordering was so weird.
Now,
First
keep
off-
in mind, in an interview Monday with Variety, ABC Disney producer Rob Mills confirmed they had made a bet on Boseman winning, and were just as stunned as the rest of us. But he said that all the categories were mixed up to try to keep things fresh. Quote, "It was not meant to end on somebody who was not present. It was a calculated risk that I think still paid off because everybody was talking about it." And
you know what? That
so I
is
get-
oh boy.
that is
Mhm.
the stupidest way to look at this. Whoever
Yeah,
decided to go for this needs to be fired.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Not only
I understand
because they were hoping
The
for
stated.
not only because of that, but as a viewer, once they name Best Picture,
Most people turned it off.
Yeah.
yeah. So you are killing your viewership for this award, let
Yeah.
alone that it didn't go the way you thought.
I understand,
Especially if people aren't paying
concept.
attention.
Yeah, I understand the concept of wanting to mix up the other awards, like everything, like scattershot it throughout the ceremony. I understand that, so people don't get into the same rhythm. But you still always end on Best Picture, and there's a very good reason for that. It is the award that's most likely guaranteed to have people there to accept it.
In a
Mhm.
Like,
year's
like-
time, no one remembers Best Editing. No one remembers Best
Yeah.
Costume Design.
Well, but none
They
of those were
remember
last.
Best Picture, maybe.
None of those were last.
Yeah, but you see, Best Picture is always going to have people in the audience, or at least in this case, remotely, somebody there to accept it. Not
Yeah.
only the moment they realized that Anthony Hopkins, at least one of their nominees, is not going to be there to accept the award, they should have realized this is not what we end with, because that guy could win it and no one's going to accept it. So they should have called that audible. And I understand this, a lot goes into this production, but especially as a scaled back performance as this one, they could have called that audible and pushed Best Picture to last, because again, you're going to have producers in Hollywood there to accept the award, or at the very least in this case, again, remote.
Or even if not producers, actors or somebody
Somebody.
involved with the
Yeah.
film
Someone's
in
there.
some way.
Someone's
But
there.
Oscars set themselves up for failure.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
said you cannot zoom in, you cannot remote in to get your Oscar. You have to be here.
Well, you could, but you had to be like in a
In
special
another
like.
country. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like because they had like the theater in London, and they had all of the British crew were all in the same place, and they felt bad when it ever cut to that scene, that set, because
Yeah.
everyone's like all uncomfortable and separated instead of the comfy seats in LA. But you also have like the people that were in Oslo and all the international crowd. You did have people that were remoting in, and Anthony Hopkins, for instance, could have been that. I'm not blaming him for not doing that, but if they knew that the best actor is going to be where they ended at, they should have gone through extraordinary circumstances to make sure all of the nominees were available to give a speech, to accept the award, or they shouldn't have done it. They should have gone with Best Picture.
And I think
Yeah, because it was so awkward just them being like, I accept on his behalf, and then the credits literally
The credits.
start
Yeah.
rolling.
because they had
I'm
nothing
like-
else to go to. That was it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to bet on someone winning the Oscars
Have we not learned?
because of whatever reason. Because I mean, literally, I think they were thinking, one, he died tragically, and two, we've had a really challenging last year in relation to
Social justice
Black
issues,
Lives
yeah.
Matter. So maybe people would just vote for him that way. But you know what? I think that's not the way the Oscars work. People are supposed to vote on what they think is the best performance. And
Tina lost $1 thinking that.
Now I'm broke.
So it's crazy to bet on that being that he was a shoe-in to win it. I think that's just crazy to me.
And that's why I put him as my pick, because the only thing people were talking about with a father is Anthony Hopkins' performance.
Yeah. And
That was the
my
only thing.
understanding, I want to see the movie, that is that he's amazing in it. So I feel a little bad for Anthony Hopkins in a way, because all of this negativity has overshadowed the fact that he is now the oldest winner of an Oscar in the history of the award.
It's another Moonlight La La Land fiasco where this is going to trump what actually wins the award. No one's going to remember. It's like, oh yeah, Moonlight won the award, but come on, La La Land.
And his speech,
that's going to be what's remembered.
His video, I think, was a nice video. It was nicely put, and he did still recognize in his speech Chadwick Boseman. I don't think he even thought he was going to win. I think he even thought that.
Yeah, no, he said specifically. Let me get to the quote. At 83 years of age, I did not expect to get this award. I really didn't. I'm very grateful to the Academy and thank you. And I want to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who was taken from us far too early.
He was asleep in bed.
Yeah. Now, see, with the other part of this whole thing. So this is
like 2 a.m. there.
A stupid Disney decision. I actually don't think this is a Soderbergh decision. I don't think he has that much power to make the decision on the order. This was a stupid Disney decision, which is not only a disrespect.
That makes more sense, though. Now, if this had come from Disney, who Boseman was a cash cow of sorts to Disney, I could see Disney making that bet.
I don't think with something like the Academy Awards, the person that directs the videos is not going to be the person who has the power to make.
They're not the decision maker.
No. Now, I'm sure he was a decision maker on the location and the way that they produced different segments across the city. All of that stuff is him for sure. So if you didn't like that, then that's him. But as this particular piece of it is not. This is a Disney decision, and it just goes part and parcel with sort of this, to me, this whole disrespect of filmmakers in a way, because actors and producers and the editors all want to see Best Picture at the end, I think, because they're all looking up to that one big award too. In fact, a lot of them that are nominated for different awards also participated in the pictures that are nominated. I feel like it's like a buildup. It's your industry's highest. You
don't put Best of Show like right before you put Best in Small Breed category at the fucking AKC Kennel Club. No. Best in Show is always the last one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the culmination of everything that came before it.
Yeah, it was so funny though, because in our text string, because we're all watching it separate this year, it was like, oh, so we're doing this? We're doing this now?
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And Zach was like, I don't have cable. What's going on?
Someone explain to me.
Now, here's the other piece that bothered me, and some people are making a big deal about, and this happens every year. Zach and I got upset last year. I don't remember who it was that got left out, but somebody always fucking gets left out of an in memoriam that matters. I had no connection to the person that everybody's losing their mind over this year. But what I do have an issue with is we had this long karaoke cringe moment that went way too long, that could have been taken out completely and left the in memoriam video running long enough to actually see the names.
Yeah,
you guys noticed that
it went real quick on some of those names.
We were talking about it, and I wonder what the count is versus other years, because unfortunately we are dealing with a year where some of these people.
It didn't seem that much more to me. They're usually there's always a lot.
You're right. It did go by really quickly.
The priorities are always just fucked.
Well, but if you watch it too, especially and Zach, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you edit a lot of videos, you can see when somebody hit that ramp up button. Because it's going, maybe everybody gets a second, then all of a sudden half second. There's like 6 or 8 or 10 that are a half second,
and then it'll slow down again for like 2 or 3 names, and then it'll ramp back up. And I'm like, bruh, who was it that got left out that they were saying?
Somebody from a TV show. Yeah, I can't remember her name now. It was a woman. I knew I had seen some of her stuff when it was referenced, but I didn't know she died. But and again, it came back to Chadwick Boseman. A lot of people were like, I didn't know he was even in the list. I knew because he was the last one.
Yeah,
he was the last.
No, I told Nico, before it even started. I'm like, they're gonna end on Chadwick. He goes, nah, they might not. I'm like, no.
Totally
Angela
did.
Bassett did the
totally did.
presenting.
Well,
They're
and I
ending
think
on
they should have.
Chadwick.
I actually think they should have ended on him because I think culturally and artistically,
the
he had the most
shocking.
impact. It had the most impact on the industry for that year. All right. Well, I mean, it was another shitty year. Let me say this. Of the awards, though, for me, of the movies that I've seen, I was fine with the choices. I haven't seen everything.
Best cinematography for Mank.
Well, we didn't talk about that one. That one.
I will say, the best supporting actress, she was hilarious when she got up to do hers.
Oh my God, she was great. She was adorable.
Hysterical.
And I saw her in a post-show interview. She's hysterical all the time. That lady.
I want to
hilarious.
go out to eat with this woman.
I think my favorite presenter was Harrison Ford, who both exuded contempt for being there, but I also feel like he.
Did you see it, Zach?
No, but it's like when it's like, oh, here's Harrison Ford. I'm like, he's gonna be pissed.
All right, you got to say what he did.
He's talking about editing and the importance of editing because he presents, I think, editing and directing.
Yeah.
The way he presents editing is he takes notes that were given to them for Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And
it's all negative notes.
Trashing the movie. Yeah.
Trashing it. And at the end, he looks up and he goes, and that was Blade Runner.
Well, the funny thing is, like, everybody who knows knew it because he says Deckard in it. And it's like, he's talking about Blade Runner right now.
Oh my God. It is the best one of the entire episode.
I love the other part is when he's actually giving the names because he I think pronounces some of the foreign names of like Chloe Zhao and stuff. He does that better than every other presenter that was in here. It's like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah,
but he says everything so well.
And I don't want to be there attitude.
When it cuts to Chloe Zhao after he says her name, she is so excited because Harrison Ford said her name.
Yeah, you can see her mouth. Oh my God, he said my name.
I mean, I would too. If Harrison Ford said my name, I would freak out.
Exactly.
Although Nico did.
It's like having ET say your name at the end of the ET ride at Universal. Yeah. It's like you said it. You said it.
Nico turns to me and goes, "That was great. Although now I kind of worry that we might not get another Indiana Jones movie."
No, I'm not worried.
Oh no, not that.
It's like, what the hell is Indiana Jones 5 going to be? Because Harrison was really old when he was on stage here. Like, you could just see the age on him. It's like, like even compared to like Force Awakens, just like 5 years ago, he looks way older.
Well, it's his demeanor that feels like, oh God, this is an 80-year-old man. You know? Yeah, he should be playing the father.
To get off my lawn.
We should probably move on. We got a lot more.
Yeah.
So real quick, so I won the.
Oh wait, let's get this out of the way. Really?
Yeah. Let's
get this out of the way. So Zach won the game, Oscar game. So he got $1 from everybody, right?
Yep.
Except me, because we had a side bet on the box office.
We're driving home after watching demonSlayer.
Mm-hmm.
My big fat fucking mouth had to be like, I bet you demonSlayer makes more money than Mortal Kombat.
That was so close too.
And then it was really like, no way, man, Mortal Kombat's gonna make it. And I'm like, I bet you $1. The bet was taken. So when those numbers
even Steven.
So when those numbers came out and demonSlayer was in like $3 million, I'm a little salty. So, sir, here is your $1.
There were news sites on Sunday. They were just like, demonSlayer's going to do it. demonSlayer's going to get the top box office spot. And I just kept reading that. It's like,
don't give it to me because I owe you $1. That's what I'm saying. Even Steven, because I owe $1 for the Oscars.
No,
so he's just waving you in.
I have to give it to you.
Oh. That's
your $1.
Okay, I see. All right, so we run really long. Let's Zach's not gonna cry. Let's skip his story.
Well, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, another one. It's rated R.
Okay, good,
perfect.
This is going to be a good segue to the other thing we're going to talk a lot about.
Yes, it is.
So spoilers going forward for a bit for Falcon and Winter Soldier. But first off the bat, Hollywood Reporter reported on Friday when episode 6 dropped that Captain America 4 is in the works with Falcon and Winter Soldier showrunner Malcolm Spellman. Spellman will co-write the script for the fourth Captain America movie with Dallin Moosen, who is a scriptwriter for the show, for the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Apparently, he wrote episode 5 primarily, which was the title Trust.
Yeah.
No director is attached, but we can safely assume most likely that this will star Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, Captain America.
So
I would
has better
fully
pacing
pay.
than the show. That's my only worry.
I would absolutely pay full price to see another Captain America film with old Cap, and he's just on a walker.
Old man Cap, like Logan, like old man Logan.
Yeah, he's like, I got it, guys. And he's moving all slow.
So I guess I'm okay with this. I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess I'm fine with it.
The question is, now we have to talk about what we thought about Falcon and Winter Soldier. That will indicate how okay we are with the movie.
I watched episode 1.
So I finished it yesterday.
That was probably the worst episode, honestly. I think episode 1.
Yeah. Well, can I ask? Did they get the boat fixed up?
Yes, actually they did.
I need to know
that was a
about the boat
episode. Actually, I enjoyed that episode where they bonded fixing the boat.
So I do feel like generally the show progressively got better after the first couple of episodes. I think it was episode 3 that nearly did me in because I was so pissed at it.
Episode 3 was rough.
That's not a positive note for the show, though, when half of your episodes are not that good.
Yeah.
And the other half are.
That does give me concern about Spellman but he's writing the script. So this is early. If him and one of the show writers, given one of the show writers for one of the latter half of the episodes is writing it, it's going to get passed through the director and more revisioning. So at least we have that. It's not like Spellman's not on board to direct it. So
not only that, but I'm pretty sure Feige's going to have at least a glance over. And
Feige had a glance over this.
He did.
Feige had his hands on all of this, on all of the Disney Plus shows.
I think he has different standards for movies versus TV shows. So
yeah, because honestly, to me, as of the first 2 shows, they don't have a consistent track record. It's like
I think you're probably right on that at that point, Tina. But I agree. I think the show got better in the second half. I think I'm not sure, but I think episode 4 is probably the better episode. That 5 was good, but not as good as but I think 6 was a decent cap off.
Can't kill you.
I thought it ended well. But yeah, I thought it ended well. I liked Anthony Mackie as Sam, as Captain America. I think came across really well. I think the speech was overbloated, but
yes, it was.
But he gave it well. So I think that was pretty good.
Trying to kind of mimic the speeches that Steve Rogers gave, and I think that might, I don't know.
That might be a mistake.
Yeah.
I will say, Nico was kind of pissed that I called Sharon Carter's role.
And I think that is one of the problems I have with it, is it doesn't feel earned.
It does, because I agree. It does feel weird because it's out of nowhere, just because we haven't seen this character since Civil War, and suddenly she's a bad guy when the last time we really saw her, she was making out with Captain America with Steve Rogers, and so it is a weird villain turn. I think it's supposed to lead into, she'll probably be I'm assuming she'll be part of the Armor Wars miniseries that we'll get with Don Cheadle.
It makes sense because she's all into like selling technology and selling secrets and all that stuff. But I don't like. I like that character, and I was kind of happy to see her back because I feel like she got shortchanged a little bit. And then they did that to her, and it doesn't, unless they're trying to do some bullshit Nick Fury thing with her where she's a double agent of a double agent of a double agent.
That was my theory at first.
Yeah.
I thought Zemo got shortchanged as well. I thought that there was going to be more of him.
I wanted more Zemo. I will say, like, I love Emily Van Camp. I just really hate Sharon Carter. I've always hated her in the comics. I just thought she was just fucking creepy going after her aunt's beau. But
Tina doesn't like competition.
I see.
No, because I fucking love Peggy Carter. But no, I don't know. I felt disappointed, even if I didn't like the character. I felt disappointed. I will say, Wyatt Russell, I think he's one to look out for, dude.
Wait, which one is that?
He's John
That was
Walker.
US Agent.
Oh, yeah.
He knocked it out of the park.
I mean, I
want to say that, but I also fucking hate that character.
But he was good at it.
But he's a good actor.
Well, but
I
that
he did really well in that one.
You don't know what happened, sir.
Yeah, and I've seen him in other media.
Well, wait, that is an issue that to me is insurmountable. That is becoming, actually, as I sit here and think about it, consistent across Marvel TV shows. We had Wanda Maximoff torture people for days and days and months or however long it took, and then she just gets to walk away from it. This guy fucking murdered somebody with the shield. Like slammed the shield into a dude's throat till
and it was fucking live streamed.
Fucking blood everywhere. Gory, to me, really gory for a Disney Plus show, which I was fine with. But then he gets off with a dishonorable discharge from the military. That's it. You kill somebody flat out and you don't go to prison for it? Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you supposed to like him?
Huh?
Are you supposed to like him?
No, you're supposed to hate him.
And he's so inconsistent. Like he got pushed over the edge and turned into a crazy guy. But at the end, he's making jokes and trying to be cute with Bucky. With Bucky, they're walking together at the end of it. And I'm like, really? That I don't know. I that pissed me off.
I will say I am excited to see Julia Dreyfus's
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her.
I want to see more of her.
Yeah, I like her, and I kind of like her. I'm curious to see what she's up to.
I like her character. I like the like quippiness of her character. So
yeah, I mean,
want to see more of her.
Yeah, it was. She's definitely a weird get. I like it. I think it's going to be really cool. Because it's a name. That's a name that you got. You don't get that for like a 2-scene cameo appearance. She's going to have a presence in the MCU in some fashion going forward.
And I like I like the sort of snarky edginess of her character, but she's still funny.
Yeah.
I was positive this one would actually get a sequel series. We would get a season 2 until Captain America 4 got announced.
Yeah.
So I guess that is the sequel, is Captain America 4. And she may be in it.
And then of course, it was like 100% predictable. He got his wings broken, so Wakanda had to fix them because Wakanda can do everything, and they still gave him fucking Red Wing, which is a broken.
I just imagine on the phone. Bucky's like, "Yeah, I know it's stupid, but he really likes this bird. Could you just make Red Wing?" And they're like, "Oh, fine." Sure, he's like these white people.
And
I like how they apparently had his measurements.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a weird thing that I get. It's a me thing, but. When they give him his wings, it's like the size of a kid's backpack on his back. Like you barely see anything on his back, but yet it turns into a giant set of wings.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's like
it's Wakandan technology.
I know. It's comic books, but also they work really hard to try to ground you. I mean, so I like to see
the last Iron Man suit was all nanobots. So they to his chest.
We had an explanation though. That's what I mean. There was something. It was in the story somehow. I mean, it is what it is.
I will say this. So I wasn't a fan of in the comics when Sam becomes Captain America. I hated his outfit. It works way better in live action. I think his outfit design works a lot better on screen. I think part of it is also the closer it's closer to textual similarity to the movie Captain America, the movie Steve Rogers outfit, whereas if you compare like comic book Steve Rogers outfit versus comic book Sam Wilson Captain America, they are much more different. But yeah, I think it looks way cooler in live action.
So, and then there's another thing that I have mixed emotions about so much right now, and I have not decided 100% how I feel about it. Initially, they added a lot of layers of character and depth to sort of the super serum and the Captain America mythology in this series, with tying it to we get to go back to the old Captain America, the old black guy Captain America guy,
Isaiah Bradley.
And, we get his story sort of filled out, and we learn why he existed in the early episode, and I like that story. It really plays to modern times, and you know, good genre storytelling has you know, socio-political commentary into it, and they added that into this story by all of that, and some of that may be in the comics, I don't know, in this area. So I really like it for that. I like it for that. The flip side of it is I feel like it just disconnects from Captain America, from the Steve Rogers that carried that shield before. Like it just takes it tarnishes his character a little bit for me. So I can't, the comic book Steve Rogers lover, and you know, I love that character from kid. So I'm confused. I'm conflicted by it. In the end, I think I'm gonna be really happy with it. It's just, you know, for me, that shield is Steve Rogers. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you have the certain Green Lantern that whichever one you like, you know, is what that ring belongs to. So it's hard.
I view the Steve Rogers, Isaiah Bradley scenario as like the American education system. Bear with me. Because like all throughout elementary school, middle school, you're told, oh, America did this and we're so nice. And look, we jumped in to help these people. But like in higher education, sometimes high school, depending on where you are, but like more in-depth study, you're like, oh, we did some fucked up things. And that's where Isaiah Bradley comes in. Yeah, we did some fucked up things to this dude. So I look at it as a reflection of like that as well.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I just don't know in the story where Steve Rogers now is going to be fitted. I mean, how does it impact the overall character? I mean, I don't know. I can't figure out where that is going to fall. Generally, though, I love the complexity that it brings to the story. You know, how Sam Wilson, how he you know, Isaiah had good reason for not wanting to be Captain America, but then at the end we get that circle that comes around, and there is a reason. Sam has his own reasons for it. So I mean, I like that story, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I just feel like, you know, Captain America is always Steve Rogers, and Iron Man is always Tony Stark. And if we're going to put another person in one of those roles, we better not forget the person that was there before. And
I'm very interested, because didn't they say that they were bringing in Riri Hart for?
Yes.
They're doing Ironheart at some point.
An Ironheart series.
Really, I am really interested in seeing that one.
Yeah, because that's a good story in the comics.
It's definitely an interesting problem to tackle in this medium, because like only this last decade have we had this connected comic book movie universe when and we can go forever with Steve Rogers being Captain America. I mean, the only reason we swap it up in comics is just to refresh things, to try something new. But comics are elastic. They snap back into place eventually. But you can't do that because Chris Evans, while isn't aged out, he stepped out willingly, would eventually age out.
Say.
Hugh Jackman aged out of Wolverine.
And he knew it. And he knew it.
Yeah. So Robert Downey Jr. maybe could have done a couple more Iron Mans, but he was aging out of Tony Stark. So you can't have that same elasticity. You have to either recast or you have to try something different, as in new people taking on these roles.
And this is not a new problem. I've been through this before when I was a kid. Because of my age, I didn't learn that Sean Connery was actually James Bond until much later. When I was a kid, Roger Moore was James Bond. And when they switched, you know, Pierce Brosnan I liked when he came in. I was like, okay. So it's just, but it's something that we have to figure out.
Yeah.
Now the difference is that's just an actor switch. That's not a full-on character switch. It's still James Bond.
There's no plot story.
Yeah. So
thanks to Skyfall, we shot down the idea that they're all actually different people.
Right. But overall, that to me is the best part of that that 6 episode arc, because more than half of it is crap. But that little nugget right there is thought provoking and something to have conversation about, and that's a cool thing. It comes away with that more than I think WandaVision did, as far as having a prolonged thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Trying All right, you know what, you guys, we should probably just progress forward a little bit because we've been going on a long time.
I'm just going to really quick sum up. Amelia Clark is going to be joining the Marvel Studios Secret Invasion series on Disney Plus. Boop boop.
Yep.
We don't know what her role is yet.
That's the Sam Jackson led
fine.
kind of scroll spying series.
Yeah,
they're probably gonna get
shape-shifting aliens.
So, and Nico, I want to push.
Marvel.
I actually want to push your story to next week because this is a lot to talk about here. This Sony deal with Disney Plus, and I want us to have time to actually have a conversation about it.
Okay.
So let me just tell you, it is a slim pickings week in physical media. I didn't even put it in the list, but I'll tell you the only big thing that's coming out or is out is Dirty Dancing is out in 4K in a special steelbook. You can also get Nomadland, which is a shitty Blu-ray with no extras, and Donnie Darko is out in a remastered edition from Arrow Video, and there's like a nice version, like a really expensive box set, and then a regular just like stripped down thing, I think.
Well, I mean, The Good and the Bad and the Ugly is coming out in 4K as well.
I thought that was out already. Is it new this week?
It's new this week.
Well,
there's no HDR.
Yeah. It has been properly color graded though, because a previous Good and the Bad and the Ugly was like looking at a piece of an orange.
Yeah, the 2014. It's like it looked fine,
but
then you
really
realize
orange.
It's been color graded for modern films, which is not what Sergio Leone wanted.
Yeah, so at least this one's
correct.
Better.
Finally.
Yeah. Exactly. So what was the comic of the week, Nico?
It is, speaking of legacy characters, Miles Morales, Spider-Man from Marvel. Issue 25 came out this week. And it is the 25th issue of the current line of the Miles Morales book, which is being written by Saladin Ahmed, which essentially the second main writer after Bendis left writing the book. And it is the start of Miles' own Clone Saga storyline. Any Spider-Man fans would probably be familiar with the Clone Saga of the 90s, which was a very maligned time, unfortunately, for Spider-Man comic books, but may, as I do, have a special place in their heart for that storyline and characters like Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, who came out of that. So this is going to be a Miles Morales take on that. Not quite as convoluted. Miles doesn't have 4 books a month coming out to discuss this, and this isn't going to take 2 years or 3 years to cover. So, but yeah, Miles Morales coming out with his own clones this week.
All right, we'll see. I have mixed feelings about it. I'll probably let you read the first one and tell me how it is.
I am way behind on my comic books. I'm actually going to close out my whole box in my comic shop this week.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not reading, because I haven't been to the shop in like 2 months almost now. And I cut down the books that I was getting already. So it's not like there's a lot waiting for me, but still, like, I have so many books that I haven't even read yet, just because I think what I'm likely going to do is switch my Marvel books over to Marvel Unlimited. So it's a 6-month backlog, but I could just read it all at my own pace on my phone or tablet or whatever.
You blaspheme on your phone. My heart.
My
heart.
It's easier for me to read floppies.
Well,
I like floppies, but it's also like a storage thing. Like I turn over and look at my like tower of short boxes of books that I have, and it's just crazy. And I don't want to.
It's a literal, like, I swear it's a wall.
I say this, but I read my comics on my iPad.
Yeah. Like tablet. I mean, I've got my Android tablet I can read them on too, and all sorts of things. It's just, yeah, I'm not about that anymore.
Oh wow! Well, things change. All right, I failed to do this at the beginning, so I'm going to do this now. Special thanks to Skinny Mixes for supporting the CultureSmash cast. Skinny Mixes are coffee and dessert syrups that are 0 sugar, 0 calorie, and only up to 2 carbs. Head on over to skinnymixes.com and try out their syrups, such as chocolate, salted dark chocolate, salted caramel, and the variety of cocktail mixes they offer. I like the white chocolate a lot. That's my daily coffee sweetener. They also have a great margarita mix. Go on over there and use the promo code CultureSmash and get yourself a 15% discount. Do it. It's good. It's delicious. All right. So let's bring this puppy to an end. I think we've been going an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty-
something like that. Are we gonna take the puppy out to the shed and shoot it?
We're gonna take the
No.
puppy out.
Oi!
Take the puppy outside to go use the bathroom.
Oi!
We're gonna take the Zach out to the shed and shoot him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
Okay. I'm okay
We'll
with
get our
that one.
dollar back.
All right, Nico. Where do we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under Nico Scream and IKOSCREAM, either talking about Dungeons and Dragons or eating unicorn mac and cheese.
That sounds delicious. And you can find his comic of the week at CultureSmash.tv.
Yes.
Tina?
You can find me on pretty much all social media handles as Cheddar Popper, CHEDRPOPPR, on Instagram, mostly doing book reviews. Don't forget to keep up with the puppy at the.shadow.pupper on Instagram. You'll get to see her cone of shame.
How long does she have to stay in the cone of shame?
She takes it off
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So it's almost over. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, where do
Although
we find you? Oh, go ahead. What were we going to say?
We've been debating like leaving it on so she can't get under things.
Yeah. We should put it on Zach. He should bring it over here. We could put it on Zach. Where do we find you, sir?
You can find me on Instagram. I'm Master of Matrix 91. You can also find me on Steam and Discord. I am a dangerous mute lunatic. I'm going to be replaying Resident Evil 7 over the next week, maybe just weekend.
Getting ready for something?
There's this.
Getting ready for a little something?
There's this
Something?
little game coming out next week called Resident Evil 8,
Mm-hmm.
and it deals with the same characters and stuff. So I figured, nice refresher.
That's actually going to get me off Outriders and Dead by Daylight for a minute because I'm going to play it.
You don't want my 2 cents before you buy it? If I'm like, oh, streamer,
I hear good things.
Are there reviews out?
Not reviews, but previews. I hear good things. Plus, people have been playing the beta.
I don't trust those.
I gotta play it.
After playing the demo for Resident Evil 7, and it was not the same game.
Nah, I
don't trust it.
I'm just gonna get it. I just gotta play it.
Yeah.
So find me at All Things Culture Smash, mostly Facebook and Instagram. Also, Off the Shelf Movie Night on YouTube and Instagram. And don't forget to check out the monthly show I'm doing called Film Push. Doing this in connection with FilmCom, film industry organization based here in Nashville, talking about film funding, distribution, financing, marketing, and packaging, all the boring crap. But it's a good show. We get some good executives coming up to share their 2 cents, including a new company that we're going to be letting everybody know about soon. It's going to be taking care of family affair for us moving forward. So cool stuff. So check that out. And I guess that'll bring us to the end of the show.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Wait.